Seconds out, delighted to be joined by Zach Parker, highly rated and unbeaten, super middleweight, of course. How are you getting on thus far in lockdown with all the restrictions in place?
Yeah, it's all right. Just got to keep positive in these times. But yeah, I've been training and just trying to keep active. Don't want to be sitting around all the time, otherwise it just gets people down, doesn't it? So yeah, just try and keep active.
What's your training setup like at home?
I've just bought a big frame and that, so I've been putting a couple of bags up on that. It's like you can fit like 8 bags on it. So I bought like a floor to ceiling and a couple of big heavy bags. But yeah, I've been running in that. Just bought a road bike, so I've been biking that with one of my mates. Obviously 2 meter distance and that. But yeah, I did like a 31 mile bike ride on the other day, so been trying to smash that out.
Most people are struggling to get one bag at the moment, and you've got like a little
And
mini gym set up.
yeah, it's got like a big frame. It's got like a monkey bars over the top. So I've been doing pull ups and that from that. So yeah, ain't
Sorted.
too bad.
You're never going to want to go back to the real gym.
That's it. I've chucked it away now. Got my own gym now.
Start charging people to use it when lockdown's finished.
That's what I was thinking.
How kind of relieved are you now in hindsight that you managed to get a fight in just before all this started? Because yours must have been one of the very last
Yeah,
ones before lockdown came in.
yeah. I think that show what I was on was like last one. So I was quite lucky to get because when it was I was fighting coronavirus was about end, but my manager and my trainers were like don't shake no hands or nothing like that. Like when I was doing a press conference and that. But I was lucky to get in like one of the last ones, and I was glad to get in as well because I didn't box for ages before that. So yeah, I wanted to just try and stay active, even though it's coronavirus. So I want to stay active if they're going to put it behind closed doors and that. So see how it
Stay
goes.
active, you've got the purse, but more importantly, the biggest fight of your career was probably met with your best performance.
Yeah, that's it. It was good fight, number one versus number two. It was, and yeah, I feel like I put on a show with boxing skills, and then got a big knockout at the end. So yeah, put Arsenal on K.
Are you a little disappointed? Like you said, it was number two against number one. In theory,
Yeah,
you would have moved up to number one, but because Canelo Alvarez decided he wanted to be number one
yeah,
and he already held a belt with the WBO in a different division, because of new
yeah.
rules, he was allowed to kind of jump the queue.
Yeah, it's good. It's money talks in boxing, doesn't it? Obviously, if he's cash cow and he's going to make a lot more money for the WBO first, but obviously, if he has the fight with Billy Joe, I'm ready straight after. I can still get a couple more learning fights, and I'm still ready for the number one position after. So just have to see how it goes.
Do you expect to fight one of those two guys if they do fight and whoever wins, or do you expect, certainly if Canelo wins, would you expect him to vacate and move around the division still?
I reckon he's just looking for the biggest fights. Because obviously, that's what the fans want to see. We want to see Canelo in the biggest fights. So probably he might vacate. We'll just have to see, won't we, when it comes down to it. He might want to think I'm an easy fight or something. But I know that ain't the case. Like I'm ready for the big fights now. I'm a bit younger than all the rest, but I'm a big super middleweight compared to a lot of them. So I just want the big fights now.
Well, presumably at 25, unbeaten, you jump
Yeah.
at the chance of a Canelo or Saunders fight.
Yeah, 100,000%. That's what you're in box for. You want them big light, be on them big lights. Never been to America. I'd love to go and box over there as well. So just have to see how it goes. And if Canelo wanted to fight or Billy Joe wanted to fight, I'm ready for both of them.
And if that fight does come together, Billy Joe and Canelo, who do you fancy in that one?
I think it'd be a good fight. I think Billy Joe would give him give Canelo a couple of problems, like because his southpaw and it's quite awkward boxing move. But I think Canelo's like he's a good one. Like it's a couple of levels above. I think he's been there and done it. So maybe a late stoppage Canelo. I'm thinking.
Well, it's good that you've put your neck on the line. It's always good when someone else does it rather than me. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, I agree. It'd be a good fight. And
I,
who? Go on.
I think he'll give him a lot of problems early. But I reckon because Canelo's quite big as well, he'll start slowing down towards the end, and Canelo might catch him. But you never know. Boxing, like Billy Joe could even pull it off. But is big Canelo is compared to him, I think.
Style wise, who do you think suits you more out of the two of them?
I don't know. I'm a bit more of a. I've got an awkward style, so I can give anyone problems. But maybe Billy Joe probably better style for me because he's quite small for super-middleweight division, and I could probably walk him down a lot easier than what I could Canelo. So probably Billy Joe.
Yeah, and you've got the reach advantage there as well, which I think will be a big factor in that fight. I think it's one of the reasons Demetrius Andrade was confident about fighting Billy Joe Saunders as well, that he's slick, but he's got the reach advantage as well, which is a big bonus.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, Billy Joe's a bit smart. I think saying like 5'10". I'm almost like 6'2", so I've got the advantages against him, like with longer reach, taller. So yeah, probably that would be the better fight for me instead of Canelo. But I'm ready for Canelo as well.
There are a lot of question marks about you, obviously not from yourself or your team, but in the wider boxing community before the Murdoch fight. The previous biggest fight you'd had was the British title win over Darryl Williams, which was close and contentious. He hasn't fought since. Do you feel you've answered a lot of those questions in beating Murdoch and in the style you did?
Yeah, I feel like I showed what I can do when I fought Murdoch. But obviously when I fought Darryl Williams, I literally had one arm for 10 rounds, and a lot of people, once they've dislocated their arm and can't even throw it, they'll be chucking in the towel straight away. But I know I can just nitty gritty get down to like blood, sweat, and tears, and had to grit it out and get close. It was a close decision, but I feel like I was boxing him at the end. He was tiring out, and it was nitty gritty, but I feel like I come out on top as well.
What are you thinking about when something like that happens so early in a fight, the injury, and obviously you're dealing with the pain? You've got to keep thinking about how to adjust your tactics as well because you can't use it as much. What's going through your mind in that mini crisis?
Yeah, once it happened, I went back to the corner. I was telling Errol and Paul, and they was just like slapping on the face, like, said, "Listen, just use your arm. We can get through this. Use your arm." So yeah, I just thought I can use my boxing skills, like box and move. Don't try and get into close quarters too much. Try and box and move. Use my jab, and it's a good job I can change my stance and use southpaw, because that's what I had to do for the whole fight. I couldn't even box in my like normal stance of orthodox. I had to stay in that southpaw for 10 rounds. So yeah, I just had to overcome it.
You're still only 25. What are the kind of key areas of your game that you feel you can improve on going forward? Because you've still got more of your career to come than that's gone.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, that Murdoch, he kept saying he was going to come in and try and do it close quarters, but in that fight, I feel like I pushed the fight. I was going close quarters. So yeah, I've been working on getting inside, more body shots and that. So yeah, that's what I feel like I've done. I broke him down in the end and got the win in that fight. So pretty much just inside work.
And is there anyone you look at, either who's fighting currently or greats of the past, that you look at for kind of inspiration or ideas, tactical ideas?
Yeah, I watch like loads of different fighters. I used to watch even like really old, like Sugar Ray Robinson and stuff like that. Then Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali. I watch them all. Like you get little points off each one, don't you? Which is my brain's like a sponge when it comes to boxing. I'm trying to take everything in. So yeah, I used to watch Floyd Mayweather a lot when I was an amateur and that. The young Floyd Mayweather, like Pretty Boy Floyd. So yeah, I like watching all sorts. I like Pernell Whitaker as well. Like, when he used to fight, he was a really good fighter as well.
You probably don't get talked about as much as you should. Certainly, in my view, you're very talented. You're highly world rated. You've won a British title. You're on the verge of a world title, and you're still very young. And there's other young fighters with higher profiles who haven't achieved half of what you have. How do you feel about that? Is that something you think about?
I've come under the radar a bit, but I know my time's going to come through. Like even like Joe Saunders, he went under the radar, and then once he beat Jeff Lacey, he blew up then, didn't he? So yeah, I know my time's coming. Obviously, some fighters got a bit more exposure, being on Sky Sports. Like with every fight, I've been on like the World Boxing Super Series, and they didn't get as much exposure as the Sky Sports did. But obviously, my last fight was on Sky Sports, and that's where I want to stay on the big shows, with the big shows on the big platforms.
And you're signed to the Sauerlands, aren't you?
Yeah.
How well do you feel they've moved you? It seems like they've done a really good job.
Yeah, I've done a really good job with my team. We've got the Sauerlands now. I've got my manager Neil Marsh, and obviously my trainers. I feel like we've moved in the right pace. Got a British title, and they're putting me up there as well in all the governing bodies. So I've got to be doing something right with my team. Getting up, I'm like, what am I, like 3 in the IBF, number 1 or 2 in WBO, and like 5 in WBA. So yeah, they put me in the right path.
What's the plan if Saunders and Canelo do fight, say in the autumn, which could still happen if Canelo doesn't fight Triple G again? What will you do? Because obviously you've got to stay active, but you don't want to risk your rankings. What sort of level will you fight at?
I don't know. I still want to do big shows and like big fights. So I think that's like, you still got to put your neck on the line. I'd like loads and loads of big fights. So probably I want a couple more harder fights. Like obviously you want some learning fights, but tough learning fights, like what's still get exposure on TV and that. So I'd love like a Rocky Fielding fight or a John Ryder fight as well. So it's obviously with all Britain, it's going to sell a lot more than just some randomer from abroad, like a hard randomer from abroad. So yeah, either one of them, I'd love a British showdown with them.
Yeah, I mean, you and John Ryder could easily be like a chief support on a pay-per-view, couldn't it?
Yeah, that's it. That'd be a good fight. But I feel like I'd overcome them because a lot bigger than him. I don't think he's suited for the super middleweight division. He gave Colin Smith a lot of problems, but the styles make fights, and I feel like I could box him. So just see if that fight came up, I'd take it with both hands.
Brilliant. Well, I really appreciate you taking some time to speak to me. And
good,
just before I let you go, people out there, as you said, you've flown under the radar a bit. We don't want that to happen too much longer. So how can they find you on social media? On Instagram, it's Zach Parker Boxer, and same on Twitter, Zach Parker Boxer, ZACH. So yeah, give me a follow and just watch my career. Good stuff. Well, stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you back in as soon as possible.
And you, mate, stay safe.
Cheers, mate. Take care.